Hey loves. So I'm going live today to talk about one of my favorite limiting beliefs that comes up all the time. One of the blocks that I see so many of my clients going through, a block that I personally went through and really enjoy working through now: visibility. So recently, even in different groups and different things that I'm a part of, visibility and us playing small and dulling ourselves down has really become a topic of conversation and is something that I think so many women are working on. And so many of us who are business owners who have that entrepreneur mindset, or women who are ready to ask for what it is that they deserve, to take up that space, to be who we truly are. It's a limiting belief of concern. It's something that we each have to work through. It's something that is so important to our messages, to our soul's purpose, into getting us where we each desire to go. So a little bit about the visibility block. So many of us have limiting beliefs where we keep ourselves small, where we say things differently depending on where we're at, where we don't raise our hand, where we don't speak up, where we don't stop someone from cutting us off, where we don't add what we have to say to the conversation, or we limit ourselves in different ways. So if a visibility block is something that you are working through right now, I highly encourage you to start by acknowledging it. So first thing is, we really want to grab that wherewithal, that understanding that this is a block, this is a limiting belief that's coming up for us. So for instance, I have a lot of clients who have a visibility block around going live, around showing up and being the face of their business, of speaking their message, not wanting to polarize, not wanting to alienate, or feeling like they're niched down too much, like they're worried to speak to their ideal soulmate client because, I don't want to keep this person from coming to my business, or I don't want this person to think that my message is not for them. And so instead of showing up, they keep themselves small and they avoid the live. They avoid putting their face to their business. They avoid, attaching their message as fully and as authentically as possible to what it is that they're doing. And so I really encourage you to grab that, to catch that, to make yourself aware of it when it does come up. When you have a hit of inspiration, when you have an idea, when you're ready to make a move, and then all of a sudden you go from this elevated, aligned, intentional place and shrink yourself down and say maybe I'll do it in this way, or maybe I'll only do this, or this might be a little bit safer, or this might come off better. I ask that you take a deep breath. I ask that you align intentionally with your energy and with your intuition and with your soul's purpose and your message, and ask yourself, is this a limiting belief coming to play? Is this a visibility block? Am I playing small? Am I keeping myself little? Am I playing myself down? Am I limiting the magic that's going to come out from me? And I just recently participated in a call with Moon Club, the program that Alexandra Roxo and Ruby Warrington founded. Is an amazing program. So if you guys aren't a part of it, and all these types of topics are things that you're interested in, I'd highly recommend checking it out. But Alexandra said to us on our last live call that show your magic, show up sensual and sexual and magical and powerful, and don't let the fear of others freaking out about how much you have, how big you are, how amazing you are, to keep you in that smaller space. And I think as women, we do that so often. We do that for partners, we do that for friends, we do that in business, we do that at work, we do that in our romantic relationships and our friendships with our families. How many of us go back to family engagements and are different versions of ourselves, don't speak our truth as much, don't ask to take up the space that we deserve, don't show up fully in our radiance? How many of us are limiting ourselves, because the only limitations that we have are the limitations that we place on ourselves. The only restrictions, the only ceiling, the only place that you are deemed to not be able to go above is that which you deem you can't go above. So how can we realign? How can we take ownership for those things? And how can we play bigger, play to our fullest potential, step into our magic and our power and our full radiance? Question I get all the time. So the first step that we went over is really identifying when that's happening to you. When you identify a limiting belief, that's the first step, because then you catch it. Then you can start to flip it. Then you can start to reprogram it. So when negative thoughts come up, I always ask my clients, when you're feeling expansive, what brings you down? What slows you down? What pulls you back in? That's a limiting belief. That's a restriction. That's a story that you're telling yourself that is not factually true, that you have just deemed true. You get to align your beliefs. You get to reprogram your operating system. You get to choose, in what way do I want to think, feel, believe, exist? What things do I want to have? What things do I want to accomplish? So catching those limiting beliefs, first step. Pulling them apart, second step. So when I think, oh, I shouldn't go live because my hair is not done, or I don't have a good enough camera, or I don't have a good enough microphone, or oh my God, the background is messy, or these things that keep me from giving that message out. I have a hit and an excitement on a message. I have a piece of thing that I need to give, that I need to let out there into the world. I want to speak to my soulmate clients. I want to tell them about something that I have to offer. And I pull myself back because of the way that I look, or the way that it might sound, or just the technical things that I do or don't have, or even the setting, or even the fact that like the light on one side of my face is too bright and is kind of blowing things out. When you allow those things to hold you back, when you allow those things to be the reason that you don't show up fully, that you don't give your message, that you don't speak your truth, you are allowing limiting beliefs to run the show. And it is your duty and your responsibility to identify those, to catch them, and then to reprogram them. So a way that you can reprogram them is shifting them. And I love to shift things in multitudes. So if I have one negative thought, like, oh, I could never make that much money, or oh, I could never, had that amazing client, or oh, I could never work with that mentor. I take that and I flip that around, and I tell myself the opposite of that, that which I desire, that which I want, the belief that I want to have, the belief that I want to imprint 3 or 5 or 10 times. So say for instance, I could never make that amount of money. If that comes up as you're making a program, as you're selling your services, maybe that's, I could never make that amount of money as you're going into your review or your promotion conversation or your raise discussion. And you have that thought, acknowledge, and then shift that. Tell yourself, of course I could make that amount. Give yourself reasons why you could make that amount. I love to do research to disprove my limiting beliefs. So no one's ever done it that way. No one's ever done it that fast. No one's ever opened a business and been successful that quickly. It always has to be dramatic. There has to be victim. There has to be blood, sweat, and tears. So then I'll do research to show myself that it's possible. And I will find other female entrepreneurs who started a business in January and were crushing it by June. And then that opens me up to the belief system that I can do that, that it's possible. So I disprove that belief, and then I reprogram myself by aligning with an affirmation, with a belief, with a structure that I want to hold within me. So for instance, I could never make that amount of money. I do the research to disprove that. I look at other women who have businesses that are similar to mine, that are doing a great job, that have been in business the same amount of time as me, or at that time in their business, 6 months in, a year, 2, 3 years in, they were doing what I want to achieve. So it becomes possible for me. And then I create an affirmation. I create a belief that I want to align with. I am my only limitations around financial abundance. I can achieve as much as I desire. I can make XYZ amount of money in a week, in a month, in a launch. And then I say that 3 times. or I say that 5 times, or I say that 10 times when that negative belief comes up, when that limitation presents itself for me. So when I feel expansive and I'm moving forward and I'm opening myself up, and then I hear that thought, I hear that you could never make that amount of money, you could never have that client, you could never work with that mentor, even if there's a tail ender, even if it's just not right now, or that's not possible at this stage, but maybe later, I take that shift that I've learned and I allow those affirmations, I allow that reprogramming to happen, and I consciously sit with myself and I draw my attention to my third eye and I take a deep breath and I feel my body consciously, and I become deeply embodied and I become deeply connected, and I realign my energy and I focus my chakra system, and I draw attention from the root to the sacral, to the solar plexus, to the heart, to the throat, to the third eye, to the crown chakra. And then I imprint those beliefs and I say those things 3 or 5 or 10 times to myself. I am able to achieve any amount of financial abundance that I desire. I am able to sign any soulmate client that I desire. I am able to make in a month what I desire to make in a month. My financial stability and capability is always in an overflow. There is always more coming in than going out. My business is important. The work that I do is of high service and worthy of massive compensation. I am special. I am worthy. I am gifted. And this thing that I have, that I am meant to give to the world, is important. There are women out there who need to hear my message, and it is my job to show up, to stand in my full radiance, to take back my power, to make offers to women who need this work. This is the way that I move the world forward. This is the way that I expand the vibration of the planet. And it is my duty and my responsibility to offer my great work to those who want to say yes, who want to work in this way. We're ready to do this deep work. And I say that over and over and over, and I get into a rampage place and I elevate my vibration, and I feel myself coming up to that expansive place again. So every time I try to pull my energy in and be a little bit smaller and make someone else more comfortable, I become consciously aware of it. I disprove it in my mind, and then I realign with my true intention. Another great tip for really imprinting these deep beliefs that you want to have and pulling out the limitations and the limiting beliefs that you would like to redesign or reprogram is working with tapping, or EFT, emotional freedom technique. So I'm going to show you just a few of those tapping spots and just a quick way to run through that. So one of the main spots is this karate chop point right at the side of the hand, that like fleshy piece right there. You can also do the top of the head. You can do where the eyebrow meets the nose. You can do on the outside of the eye. You can do underneath the eye. You can pull the skin taut and do the cupid's bow. You can do the chin. You can do right underneath the clavicles. You can also do the top of the pointer finger, the top of the middle finger, the bottom of the ring finger, the top of the pinky, and then right in between, that soft spot between those, the ring and the pinky finger, you can tap there as well. And the way to craft a tapping script is to say to yourself, even though input your limiting belief, input your negative feeling, input what you're going through. So if we're using that previous example, even though there are moments in my life where I think I can't achieve what I want and I can't make the amount of money that I want, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And basically what that first statement is telling you is it's acknowledging the place that you're in. It's acknowledging the negative thought or the feeling or the limiting belief. And you're saying, even though this negativity exists in my reality right now, even though I think it, even though there have been times that I believe it, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And giving yourself love and acceptance for that negative place acknowledges the negativity, brings us back up to a higher vibration, and opens those limitations up. Then you want to say a maybe statement. Maybe I could think about this differently. Maybe I could change my belief system around this. Maybe I could open up to a new way of understanding. And then you want to imprint what you want to believe, your desire, your affirmation, your aligned intention. And then you want to utilize the tapping points as you're saying each of those. So for today, we're just going to use that karate chop point, and we're going to start with our even though negative statement. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. We'll go into a maybe, and then we'll go into a positive. And we'll do that 3 times. So 3 negatives, 3 maybes, 3 positives. All right, so let's take a deep breath. All right, let's use that karate chop point. Even though I have limited myself, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I believe sometimes that there is a top number, a ceiling, a limitation to my financial abundance, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I limit myself by believing my limitations, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Maybe this could be different. Maybe I could believe a different story. Maybe I could shift things around this belief. Into the positive, I know that I am 100% the conscious creator of my world, of my abundance, and of my prosperity. I know that my work is of high service and worthy of massive compensation. I know that it is my duty and my responsibility to get my message out there, to speak my truth, to show up in my full radiance, and to give my message to women who are out there, who are going through the same things that I went through, so that I can support them, so that I can help them, so that I can help pass that light that I've found onto other women. Working through an EFT process on your limiting beliefs will not only work with the physical body because of the tapping, but it works with the subconscious and the conscious, and it is a reminder physically, mentally, spiritually, energetically, that you get to reprogram yourself. You get to choose what you want to believe. So if a visibility block is an issue for you, I encourage you, catch that thought when it comes up. Disprove it in reality. Prove that that is not 100% true. Show yourself reasons why it is not, and then realign your beliefs, and then implant that more than just the one that came up. Do that 3 or 5 or 10 times, and then consider using EFT and tapping to support that process. If you have more questions about this, if a visibility block is a big limiting belief that you're dealing with right now, if you like the way that I speak, if you are feeling the vibration and connect with me and are ready to work with a mentor, work with a coach, work one-on-one, if you're ready to take your business to the next level, if you're ready to start a business, if you are so interested and so curious in spiritual tools and practices, if you want to develop your intuition, connect with your divine feminine, and up-level your fucking life, I encourage you to book a discovery call with me. It's 30 minutes one-on-one. We'll talk about what you're going through, where you want to go, and I will tell you all of the ways that my 60 and 90-day programs help women change their lives. I'll show you all the different things that we can accomplish. We'll talk through all of your questions, and we'll find out if we're a really good fit to work together. I'm currently taking on clients, so I encourage you to book a discovery call today. What do you have to lose? I'll drop a link underneath this video. So if you are called, if you feel this message, if this hits home and you are ready to make a change, book a call. Thanks so much.